Hey everybody, good to see you all. Just got a short video in the spirit of the holiday for today. I'm going to talk about the true way in which we regard the reality of our cumulative situation in the framework that we experience as the Western mindset. So, there's a great emphasis on voting, and I remember the classic campaign, vote or D unalive. This is their campaign. And there's always this great emphasis on voting because, of course, on the surface level, it's quite important to our people, the majority of the human population living in our country, the United States. But there's an additional viewpoint with the way this framework kind of operates in the real world. So if you've been watching my videos and presentations over the years, I've talked about how and why these different types of fraudulent contracts are actioned in the human population. For instance, when we look at our name on our identification card or a credit card or a bank card, we will see that it's in all capital letters. And yet, when we sign our name, when we are interfacing with this fraudulent contract that I've explained in the past, we are signing our name correctly in the correct title grammar. So we have a capital first letter and then lowercase after that as the first name, and then a capital of the second name starting the second name, and then lowercase letters after that. That's the true grammar for a title. So why do we have an all capital letters interface with these contracts that we're signing? And it has to do with this entering into a fraudulent transaction. Because when we start a business, for instance, on the paperwork it will say, oh, what is our first and second or third choice for our fictitious business entity name. And so when we fill out all this paperwork to start a business, then we get the paperwork back from whatever agency or municipality that we are housing that business in. And when we examine the paperwork, we see that the fictitious business entity is in all capital letters. So when we put these two different experiences together, one with our ID card or our credit card, and one with our business that we're taking out and utilizing a fictitious business entity, we begin to paint a picture of the true reality that extends beyond the typical political compartmentalizations that I've talked about in previous presentations. So when we then examine the United States Constitution, the original document, we again will see that it's a capital U and then lowercase for the rest of the letters, and then capital S and then lowercase after that, all the way through United States of America. And yet, when we examine the title United States on our money, it's in all capital letters, okay? When we examine perhaps a letter forcing us to do this or that, through the legalese framework of the total magic spell that is legalese, we will see that it will be titled in all capital letters. Why? On television and social media, they kind of trick us into thinking about why we don't want to like the government or the white government or the patriarchy, this kind of thing. Okay, so we don't like the government because they're unfair, they're misogynist, they're totalitarian, we have all of these reasons why, and yet we're still voting. And when we're voting inside of that all capital letter framework, which is a corporate fictitious business entity. Okay, a business entity cannot be a government. And yet people are living and being unalived in these little skirmishes when there's a BLM event, or when there's a Proud Boys event, or when there's a whatever event. People are losing their lives over these political beliefs, thinking that, oh, we hate the government, we hate the white man, we hate the patriarchy for this and that, all the while being totally unaware of this true relationship between the fictitious business entity and the actual title of the federal government. So this is actually my exposition and my attempt to break and liberate all of our people break away from this type of mental framework that is actually the true reason why we should not want to like or participate with these entities. The absolute reason why we don't want to participate in all of this political aggrandization, the actual reason that we should be upset and not want to participate in the government or want to change the government is actually because they've casted this spell over us using legalese in which we're living and being unalived in these little skirmishes, thinking that we're actually participating in the actual government, but we're not. We're participating in this fictitious business entity. So the entire time, the actual United States Republic it's actually forever enshrined in truth. And the fact that we're in this fraudulent contract predicament will actually mean that the Republic will forever remain in truth and protected in that sense. So again, the whole point of me making this video today is to dislodge our people who are plugged into this fictitious business entity, political agenda, economic agenda, social agenda that is masquerading as a government when it is not a government, or else it would not be listed and portrayed to us as this all capital letters fictitious business entity. So of course this goes far deeper than the examples that I have given today. But hopefully, for anyone still interested, we can use this knowledge and this secret wisdom to further the process of dislodging our loved ones, our family, friends and family members from the political agenda of the fictitious business entity. So I thank you all once again, my friends. It's good to see you. Until next time.